didn't see the record. Hang on.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hello. Let's see. All right. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I am Angela Patteson, and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm doing it anyway. I love to share with people my heart, and I do get preachy sometimes, so bear with my enthusiasm. But I really just want the Lord to say whatever he wants to say through me to bless and benefit everything, because so many people said amazing things today. So I just want to say thank you for letting me even share here. I feel very honored. So when I got started here, I had done other network marketing companies, had some success, had lost a team, lost an upline, quit, had a lot of disappointment, lost a lot of money, and I was not going to do it again after several of those things. And so my whole thing here is no plan B, and by the way, and being all in. So I just wanted to start though by saying my story, because I was not all in. I didn't even want to do the business. In fact, I said, I just am desperate for help. I'm not interested in the products, right? And I'm not interested in the business opportunity because of fear, because of something holding me back. And I honestly was afraid that something was going to repeat again, right? So I was being held back by that. So I said, nope, not interested in that. And got started. Next thing I know, a few weeks in, people were asking me what I was doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Didn't even think about it. I started to share, right? And next thing I know, I hit a few ranks in. It was exciting. I like getting prizes. I like attaining goals. I like to do things. I still wasn't all in. I wasn't willing to get on calls. I wasn't willing to, don't even tell me about book study. You know, that was my thinking. Like, I'm busy. I got too many things going on. And then even when I started to do those things, it ultimately came down to me. I needed to have a vision and a why and a belief. It was hit on so well today, and I feel like a lot of what I'm sharing actually kind of ties up. So many others have shared it so thoroughly, some of the things I'm going to be sharing, but maybe it's going to tie it all up together, hopefully. But that was my thing that was lacking. And so what happened was I really had to pray. I'm a worship leader, I'm a youth minister, I'm a former athlete. There's a lot of things in my heart to succeed and to do, but I really want to do the will of the Lord. So it came down to me being like, okay, what are you saying, God? What am I supposed to do here? And the vision was being cast to me, but finally I was willing to really pray, and then seeing the need. Everybody needs this. And I started to believe more, of course, right? So next thing you know, I was like praying. My husband came to me. His head was in his hands on the kitchen table, and he just said, pray for me because something has to change here. We came down to desperation of like, I know I'm called to do more than this, and things were happening with his job, and I felt like, I just will say it like it is, I felt the Lord speak to me. And he said, what if in a year from now, you'll be in a completely different situation and everything's different? And I ran with that. I knew it was the Lord. And I really prayed into this, and I began to feel like, this is it. I'm going to go after this, right? So I began to build my belief and my vision, and that's what I'm going to go into here. I also felt like the Lord showed me that everybody around us needs this. We all know that. People need this opportunity. People need the products. And so I had to believe that. I had to dive in. And I did not have belief in the other companies the way I do here. It is completely different here. And I had to make the decision, though. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I had to make the decision that I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let fear and things hold me back like I've done before, because, oh, I might lose somebody, and that's happened already, and it's okay. So vision, belief, and why, again, like people have already been saying. Let me get here, hang on. So that's so key, and that's so important for us to be determined to be all in. We have to do that. So will you be willing here today? And I'm talking to myself too. Are we willing to do the homework to really figure out our vision and our why? I feel like God has already downloaded even things in the last 2 days again to me to reify what I already felt like he was burning in my heart for him, that this is what I'm called to do. Do you feel like you can stand before somebody and say, I'm called to do this? This is what I was made for. I really feel like with all of my heart, I could say that. And I feel like if you don't feel that way, let's ask the Lord to help you with that. Let's see, what is my why? What is my vision? Do I really believe I'm handing keys to people and setting them free? And that is something that has really been burning in my heart. What does it look like to be all in? When Brittany asked me this question, because I began to tell her what was in my heart to share, I said, there's no plan B. I have had a plan B in other businesses. I'll just be honest. And guess where it got me? I lost it all. Lost the car bonus, and we had to pay for it ourselves. Lost the team. Lost the friends. You know what I mean? I did a lot of things the wrong way, y'all, but the Lord has also taught me through that. There's no plan B if you really want to be all in. And I'm not saying everyone in here has to be. I believe you obviously are here for a reason, so you want to be all in. But there's people that maybe they don't want that. But I know that I'm called to be all in. Because if the Lord says to me, this is something I'm giving to you, run with it. Yes, sir. How far can I run? How fast can I go with your strength and your ability and me doing the hard work, right? So that is the thing. I had to be willing to grow. And for me, I got to a certain point in the business. If I'm talking too loud, I got to a certain point in the business where it was like, this is the same point in every other business. Has anybody else in here done any other business? Like, and okay. So you can probably relate a little bit. Okay, I got to the same point. I could recruit all the people, and that is still my strength. But I was really struggling with duplicating down, and that's where the fear has been. Coaching. Oh gosh, I have to coach now, and I have to duplicate and retention, you know what I mean? All these things, but it's been such an amazing thing that this has done in my heart, and for me as a mom and a wife. And so anyway, but I had to get out of my comfort zone. And my comfort zone was, to be honest, getting on the phone. I did not. I'd rather just text the people. Maybe in-person events is cool, but getting on the phone and developing these people, that was hard for me. It still is something I'm working through, and I have to do it anyway because I felt like it was taking my time away from my family, or how long am I going to be stuck on the phone? And I'm a talker too, but I still struggled with that. I had to get over it. I had to be willing to be coachable, to listen to, what Michelle was telling me on the phone. When we were digging and trying to figure it out, and I was like, okay, what is it that's holding me back when I'm at the same rate and losing points at one point? What is it that's holding me back here? What is it that's going on? And I started to realize that's what it was. That was my thing that I didn't want to do. The thing that you don't want to do is probably the thing you need to do the most. And for me, that's what it was. The other thing was hard conversations. Anybody feel like that? Like even though I can be a red in some ways, I also really don't like people to think bad of me. And I've had to get over the fear of man. And if there's something that's going on, having that hard conversation. And Michelle would hold me accountable. Did you have that conversation yet? And I'm like, I'm going to be right on it. But y'all, I've had to be stretched. And I know everybody in this room, you wouldn't be here if you hadn't already had a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about. But I think that this is for our people too, right? We just need to continue to encourage them. What is it holding you back? What is it that's keeping you from being all in? And again, that plan B, there's no way out. There's no plan B. There's not a and, if, or but. Well, if my team doesn't fall away, or if this doesn't happen, or if that doesn't happen, right? No, I feel called to build, and this is kingdom building. And I'm going to, by the grace of God, do my part as much as I'm able and trust the Lord for the increase. And that is what he's convicted me to do. This is really, it had to come down to, ultimately, besides being humble, coachable, learn that I didn't know it all. I actually needed a lot more growing in a lot of areas, emotional maturity. I still got a lot of growing because that was convicting the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to grow still in so many other areas. Lord, help me. It is good to be in that place because we got to stay a student, right? We got to continue to be humble and say, Lord, take me further. That's what he tells us to do, is to keep on growing and discipling. And this is what this business has done for me. I feel like I'm becoming a better person, and I'm able to help unlock that for others. So being all in, I had to make the decision. Is this a side hustle? Is this just a hobby? I have worked I have said, oh, I'm all in, and at points of either this business or other ones where I was not demonstrating that it was a business in my work ethic. And so let me ask you that question. You might think in your mind, no, it's not a hobby, but how does our day-to-day look? Are we really wanting to treat this like a business? And I've heard Christina do teachings amazing on this. So again, this might not look like the timing that I wanted. There might be ups and downs. I know everyone has said this. There's going to be things here that are hard to go through. It's hard to grow and to get uncomfortable. Just like when I'm doing weights at the gym, it's going to hurt sometimes, right? And I have to continually increase gradually. And you get out of your comfort though. You got to do what it takes and you got to keep on doing it. If I just worked out one time and then 5 months later I work out again, and then 5 months later I work out again, right? I wouldn't have any muscle. It only comes because I'm daily willing, or maybe, at least like 5 days, 4 days, 5 days a week. I'm willing to put in the effort. I'm willing to put in the time and to be going after those goals. It's the same with our business. So finally I had to make the commitment and the decision to be all in. And I had to determine in my heart, and this was hard for me because I've known in the history, I did give up. In my history, I felt like I failed, right? But here, I'm trusting the Lord, and it's scary to take that step and say, I'm all in and I'm gonna do this. I had to see myself as diamond, and that's been hard too, because I didn't think I deserved it. Has anybody felt that way? Just recently, the Lord just showed me that I needed to see that, and I'm gonna try to move on here. But finally, I made the commitment to be all in, the no plan B, there's no back door, and I had to decide if the Lord has really called me to this, it's gonna be worth it no matter what the journey looks like. Right? And so it was interesting because the Lord was just downloading in my heart. And as Natalie was sharing yesterday, what this opportunity is. And again, this is our vision and our fuel to get us to be able to do what we're supposed to do here. I felt like the Lord showing me that this is like keys that he's given us to unlock destinies for other people around us in their health, in their finances, in their emotional maturity, and all the things they're called to be and do. And I am responsible to be able to do that. I get to be a partner with him. I get to do this. You get to do this. So are you willing to make that decision that come hell or high water, I'm willing to go all the way, no matter what it looks like, no matter what is happening around me, no matter how long it might take, right? No matter who drops off and unfriends me, blocks me, had that happen, I'm willing to do this. And you have to make that decision and that commitment because this opportunity is giving life and transforming lives. And so that was the thing, is that I'm called to make a difference. You're called to make a difference. If you're in this room, you're called to make a difference. And I felt like the thing that was in my heart was this kingdom transformation. This is for eternity, that we're impacting lives around us. Do you believe that? I believe that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to do this. I get to go unlock destiny for my friend down the road who now can do work without pain in her hands all day, who now has got the money to help them go on dates and be able to pay their bills. And this person, the other over here, they were struggling with this and their insecurity, and they're coming out of their shell and leading and helping free other people. I mean, this is literally changing lives for eternity. And we get to be a part of this little tool of network marketing, get to be a part of that to help people. So I am all in and running. I've made the decision, no matter what it looks like, if it means uncomfortable things, right, to do this. And because I believe that we're called to make a difference. We're called for impact. And the Lord showed me one day when I was having a hard day, I felt like the picture came to my mind of Peter in the boat with the disciples. And they had fished all night long. And I was just crying out to the Lord, why am I in this place again? And it was really like, And then he showed me this picture, and it was like, first of all, I need to be willing to do what he says to do. And I need to make the decision when he says, put the net down on the other side of the boat, that I would do it. I'm doing my part, but then trusting him to bring the increase in the right timing as well. And that was the thing. It just all of a sudden, my thoughts were completely different. I was like, I can do this. You're with me, just like you were there with Peter, and you told him, and you came into that boat and you said, don't give up. Do not grow weary, right? And doing good, for at the right time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. That's in Galatians. But the Lord is like, do not be weary. Put your net on the other side and trust the process. And that was what he did. And that's what the Lord, and things turned around for me in that moment. But anyway, willing to drop my net and where he tells me to do it. That is me doing my part, trusting him for the increase. For whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might, just like Abby was quoting. And the other verse I have is, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. I have conviction in my heart that I'm making eternal impact. You are making eternal impact. Will you step up to the challenge if the Lord says, come on, get out of the boat, walk on this water with me. Come on, step out of your comfort. Come up a little higher. Be willing to speak this to this person that you were scared to talk to. Don't quit when somebody stops on you, right? So that's just something I feel like in my heart, like it doesn't matter what it looks like. Like she said, our team might look different later, but I'm willing to do what it takes because he's given me keys to access and unlock things for people. And so I'm all in. There's no plan B. There's just what is his kingdom purpose for me. I'm going to figure that out, and it keeps developing, right? And figuring that out, what that step looks like daily, and beginning to walk in that with each other, because we have something happening here that is amazing, unique, and I've not had it in any other company. We have sisterhood. We have family. We have a place that's safe, that I feel like we can continue to call each other higher. And y'all, I would never want to leave this. I feel like I'm becoming better, like I said, and helping. And this is something I would be so excited to tell everybody else about. Whereas I couldn't have said that in other companies. So I'm going to tell y'all, the grass is not greener anywhere else. So you got to stay in here and you got to go all the way. We are going to be diamond. Can you say that? I'm going to be a diamond. I'm going to do what it takes. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to persevere. I will continue. And so that is in my heart to say that. So let me just read this last thing here. Imagine the impact that you could have, just like Natalie's story. Who is that person in your life that could be their story next? Who is the person that God is telling you to go unlock the potential in them? That is your calling, your mission. Lord, who are the people I can reach out to? I'm not saying you have to, I mean, there's times where you just reach out to everybody anyway, but there's also specific ones that God is having you, like they're in your path, like she was saying. That is so on target for what I was feeling in my heart that I had to just say that again. It's so key. The people that he's called us to do this with. And I couldn't be more excited and passionate because I have conviction that we really are doing something that makes a difference for the kingdom. And so that's it. Thank you.
Being recorded.
I miss some of my stuff. I hope somebody recorded that.